In this video, I'll show you how you can utilize naming conventions in your Meta Ads accounts to help you make better decisions of what works, what doesn't, how you can use the data to create new concepts, new iterations, and how to analyze. We use this naming convention strategy for all of our clients. The way we utilize it is that at the end of each month, we will export the specific Meta Ad account for the previous month. We upload it to Claude. We'll tell Claude what the naming conventions stand for, and it will give us a breakdown of what works, what doesn't, and then based on that data, we can see trends, patterns, and optimize the accounts. So here we go. At the end of this exercise, your naming convention should look something like this. Your ad accounts should be named like this. I know it is going to take you more time, it's going to create more manual work, but hey, it's going to improve your results. So you got to choose if you want that or not. But let me show you how to build this. It's a very simple thing to build with formulas. You basically need a Google Sheet. Then you need each cell to represent a certain part of the creative that you're running. So let's run through them one by one, and I'll explain to you how we set them and why we set them. So let's go through them. First thing, we have funnel. This is going to be either prospecting or retargeting. In the cases of where it's like brand awareness, these are going to be brands spending more than $1 million a month, which if you're watching my video about naming conventions, it's not you or me. So it's going to be either prospecting or retargeting. Next, we have formats. Format are going to be video, single image, carousel, DPAs, UGC videos. If you are using an existing post, video internal, if the brand's team has created the video, you have partnership ads, and basically every single format that you can think of. N or I, it's new or iteration. So if you're testing new concept, it's going to be new. If you have found a winning concept and you're making iterations on that concept, it's going to be iteration. Then creator, who is the actual creator / influencer in the video. If there are multiples, you can choose if you want to add both names or if you want to add multiple creators. If it's a single creator, you can add the name. This is also going to allow you to better track the performance of each of your individual creators that you're using for UGC videos and partnership ads. Then which collection you're promoting. Is it pants? Is it jackets? Is it new arrivals? Whatever you're selling, here you can have the collections. What is the setting of the video? Is the creator filming at home? Is she at the office? Is she traveling? Is she at the airport? Here you can have all of the different settings. Then we're moving on to hook, body, and CTA. When it comes to the hook, you need to have another page with all of the hooks that you're running. You can have a list of, let's say, 100 hooks, and every time you test a new hook, you just add it here, here, here. And then once you're building the naming conventions, instead of typing out the whole hook, you can just say H1, H3, H15, whatever. You can do the same with the body. However, the hook is more important. So with the body, it's not a must. For some of our clients, what we do, instead of body, we have a pain point. So what pain point we're trying to solve for? What's the issue? Is it versatility? Is it fit? Whatever the pain point is, you can again make a list with all of the pain points and what you're trying to solve for here. So for example, it could be pain point number 2, which is versatility. Pain point number 5, which is fit. Whatever you are selling and pain points you're trying to tackle. Then we have a CTA. So what's the call to action at the end? Is it 15% off? Is it just visit our site? Is it check our collection? Whatever it is, just add it here. At the angle, you can have, is it promo? Is it evergreen ad? Whatever it is. When it comes to LP, it's the landing page. So are you taking people directly to the PDP? Are you taking them to new arrivals? Are you taking them to a sale collection? Here you can add. And then you have the date. And something that I missed adding when I was building this for you guys is version. If you're launching 5 identical ads where all of the naming conventions are going to be the same, for Claude to differentiate them and for yourself as well, you can have the version. So you're going to have V1, V2, V3, V4, V5. And then all of this is going to populate at the end here. Now you can see that the version part is missing. Very easy to add. You just go here and you can do like this, or you just copy this part, you paste it, you change L to M and you add this, and there you go, and you can apply this to the rest. And then you can do, for example, next one you build it, you can obviously do with the drop down if it's easier, but if you want to type it yourself, you can do PR single image. It's new video, creator is, let's say, Sarah, then collection is jackets, setting is office, you're using hook 3, you're tackling pain point number 2, CTA is check collection, it's an evergreen ad, and then the landing page is jackets, and then the date is 08/23/2026, version 2. There you go, the naming convention is at the end. And yeah, let me know if you want access to this. I can share it in the comments below. And yeah, thank you for your time. Hope this was helpful. Don't forget, when you do this, export all the data at the end of the month and give it to Claude or ChatGPT to analyze. So yeah, thank you. Hope this was helpful, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.